Hey guys! Today I'll show you how to make cream puffs. Believe it or not, they are so easy to make. Pour 1 cup of water into a small saucepan over medium heat. You want the water to be boiling, so while it's on the stove, chop up 6 tablespoons of butter into small pieces. When the water is done boiling, add in 1 cup of flour minus 1 tablespoon. I know this sounds like a really odd measurement, but that extra tablespoon of flour really does a lot, because it doesn't make the batter too dry. Stir the flour into the water with a wooden spoon. You have to stir this constantly or the flour will burn. And in around 3 minutes, the dough turns into a ball. You can see the bottom of the pan and how it's coated with flour, and that's how you know when the flour is done cooking. After your flour is done cooking, add in the 6 tablespoons of butter. This should really smooth it out. You don't want to melt all the butter. You want to incorporate it into the dough really well. Crack 4 eggs into a measuring cup and whisk with a fork. Before you add in the eggs, make sure the dough is cooled down or you'll scramble the eggs when it's too hot. Add in the eggs a little bit at a time to the dough. You should add the eggs in quarters. You can definitely use an electric mixer right here because it takes a very long time to mix. At this stage, I accidentally poured in too much of the egg, so it'll be a little bit lumpy. Save a little bit of the egg for egg wash later. This is what the dough should look like, nice and smooth. Mine isn't completely smooth because I added in too much egg at a time, but that's fine. If you just keep mixing, it'll turn smooth eventually. Transfer the dough into a large piping bag with a big round tip. I'm not sure what number this tip I used is here, but just any big circle tip is good. You can pipe the dough however big you want. I did 2 to 3 inch mounds. You want to press down the piping bag and lift up. So the type of dough for cream puffs is called choux. Choux is a base dough for lots of desserts. And you can see that there are some points that are sticking up on the dough, so wet your finger and tap it down. Add around a tablespoon to the leftover egg I saved a while ago and brush the cream puffs with that. This is the egg wash, so the cream puffs will be nice and brown. Bake the cream puffs at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes and lower down the temperature to 350 for another 20 minutes. Do not open the door when you're making the cream puffs to check on it. If you do, all the cream puffs will collapse. A lot of people use pastry cream for cream puffs, but I find it's too dense, so I made some whipped cream. I poured around 1.5 cups of cream into a small bowl, and I added around a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You can really eyeball your ingredients when making whipped cream, like what I did, and a teaspoon of sugar. At around 4 minutes of whipping the cream, it should be light and fluffy by then. I put the whipped cream in a small piping bag fit with a star tip, I think it was. The tip I use is this one. I don't know what type of tip that is. There are 2 ways I like to fill cream puffs. The first way, I like to cut the bottom of the cream puffs with a sharp knife. Then I got the whipped cream and I filled the cream puff. The second way I like to fill the cream puff is to cut it in half. Then I use the piping bag with I think a star tip, and pipe swirls all around it. And I really like to add a lot of fresh cut strawberries. They really add a different flavor and texture to the cream puffs. In the end, I think both ways to fill the cream puff are great. I cut the one that's filled in half to show you how much cream it holds. If you want to, you can dust some powdered sugar on it because it's not really that sweet.